Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Mario Kart 8 races. We got a full group of 12 people, so hopefully we can have some good races. And hopefully I can do well and get my score up from where it was after last episode. I was so tired, I just did terrible and I lost a lot of points. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Or at least I just didn't gain a lot. I don't know if I overall lost any. Oh, well, we're already starting off doing pretty bad. But I think this is a new course that we haven't done. This is the other Rainbow Road, Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road. They changed it from the original. They made it so that it's only one lap. And they pretty much the only thing they kept from the original is that sometimes it has railings. Like this train going wasn't in the original. There were chain chomps, but they weren't like bouncing. They just random. Well, there was a pattern to it, but it was pretty much random to any normal player. Just the way that the chain chomps went on the track, they just kind of ate through the track. And it's fireworks now instead of like a light show thing going on. So this one changed a lot. I don't even know if the course is like the same. I think they changed the course entirely. It's like a different turns and everything. I don't know. This is one of the retro courses I really don't like because they call it a retro course. I feel like it's more of its own course, just taking after the design of the actual level. Well, that's the end of this race. We actually did pretty well. I actually did pretty good. Got first place. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I keep doing this good. I forgot to mention something else about Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road. It's really short. I don't know if that's just because it's one track or if it's just overall short. Because there are other lap races that are longer. And it's not just solely to turns. There's a lot more. Like Wario Mountain, I think. It might be Wario Summit. I don't really know the names of the newer tracks yet. I'm trying to learn them. I know a few. Like, this is Shy Guy Falls. But yeah, that one's just really short. That's another thing I don't like about it. I don't know if I'd say it's my least favorite. And it's not like because I'm like there are tracks that I'm bad at, and I'm not just saying like those are my least favorite, because some of them are actually like really good design tracks and they look really nice. It's just that I can't get a handle on them. But that track I just don't like. It's like I guess I'm okay at that track. I mean, I don't know if I'm really good at any of the tracks yet, but that track I'm definitely not bad on, mainly because the only thing you can do is close turns. This track has a little bit more to it. Like, you have to adjust for those slick spots. There's only a few of those, though, and this one has a few tricks that you can do. And then on the waterfall going up, there are the boost that you can hit. Like, Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road, this seems plain. Like, the Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road, the actual one, was pretty plain too. And it's cool that they, like, continued to have two Rainbow Roads. But I just don't think Rainbow road on the Nintendo 64 is that good. I mean, it seemed better on the Nintendo 64 just because the other tracks weren't really that good, per se, but at least they were, like, good for their time. Like, this, they tried to make it good for the time it is now, but it's just, I don't like it. It seems boring, but I got another first place, so that's a great thing. Hopefully I can keep this up and get my points really high. But I'll see you in the next race. Alright, sticking with the theme of Nintendo 64 tracks, I guess. At least me talking about them. We just did a Mario Kart 8 track, but hey. This is Yoshi's Valley. I like this track just because there's a lot of ways you can go. And on the Nintendo 64, like, it couldn't, like, run all those track decisions at once. So it was really funny what they did is, instead of having, like, first, second, third, fourth, etc. during the race, they just had, like, a question mark on the side for what place you were in. And it only, like, showed you as getting first or whatever at the end of the race. So you had, like, no idea except for on this final straightaway for what kind of position you were in, really. Like, you kind of just had to guess by looking at the map. If I'm in a pretty good position near the end of the race, I'll try to show the map for those who don't know it. That's the one thing that this track is extremely unique for. It's not that, like, it has, like, a lot of shortcuts, like some tracks do, that kind of make their own course. It's actually a bunch of different courses. I generally just take one. A lot of people find one track that they like and take that. And I think I've done this track a few times before, and I always take this same track, going across the bridge at the very beginning, taking a sharp left, and then just following the straight path to the end. There's no really diversions to get confused on turns, because the arrows just end up pointing you that way at that point. I'm gonna see if I can show the map, because this one's actually really cool. So it's gonna go, oh come on. So it's gonna go off the screen for a little bit, but I just want to show this map. It's really unique, I guess. So you'll have to see my finger. I apologize for that, but I really want to show this off because it's one of my favorite maps in all of Mario Kart games. So I'll try to get that up. There. It's insane. Like, you can see, from the beginning you have like 2 different ways to go, and then depending on which way you go there, you have 2 ways. And if you follow, like, this track here and go over here, then there's another way you can go around. And if you go over here, you can go that way. It's so many choices. It's really cool. That's one of my favorite maps in Mario Kart. So, I'll cut back to the beginning of the next race. Alright, so now we're headed... Oh, shoot, I moved the gamepad. I am sorry about that. Hopefully that's a little aligned. Oh man, that's my fault. Here, I'll get the screen back up. We're at DS Tick-Tock Clock. I just like the, I guess, feeling of this track. It takes the theme really well and has a lot of elements of it in the track. And I think that's really cool. A lot of tracks don't have that, especially older ones. They've tried to incorporate it more into the newer games, starting probably around Wii, so I can understand why the DS one has a little more than most tracks, but especially the way they made it look. It looks really cool because it has all the gears completely around the track as well as on the track. And they're all like moving around and doing stuff. That was something else about Super Mario 64. Tick-Tock Clock, if you don't know, was one of the courses in Super Mario 64. And like a really cool thing about that course was like in the main world there was actually a clock that you jumped into. You jumped into the main face of the clock, and if you like entered on the 12, I think, time went normally. But if you entered on the 3, I think time stopped. If you entered on the 6, time went fast. And if you entered on the 9, it went in like weird intervals, like with no pattern. And that's something that's really cool about this level too. And that level was like really crazy because it was trying to replicate the inside of a clock, I guess. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when I think about past games. But it was really cool because of the whole inside the clock thing and whatever. I don't know. I'm geeking out about past games way too much. I'll see you guys in the next race. I'm still doing pretty good at place-wise, I guess. I forget what I got last race. See, this is what happens when I talk too much. But I'll see you in the next race. Alright, so apparently the game knows that I'm doing this and decided that because I talked about Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road all the way through Shy Guy Falls that we should do Shy Guy Falls again. And this is going to be the last race of the episode, I think. It's starting to get around 12 minutes, which means this is probably going to take it to about 15, if not 16. So, sadly, this is going to have to be the last race. I don't know if you just heard me crack my neck. I just cracked my neck, and I think it might have been pretty loud, and if you did hear it, that's probably gross. I am sorry about that. I didn't even think. I just did it. It was bothering me. It's just something I do. I don't know why. I just tilt my head to the side and it just cracks. But, so I guess Shy Guy Falls, it's a cool track. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Any track with like water elements to it I seem to like, just because water is a new thing basically to Mario Kart since like I want to say Mario Kart 3DS, because almost every other time you went in water it was just considered like a fallout, and Lakitu brought you back up. It's like now some water is a fallout, just mainly on retro tracks, because almost all the new tracks have water with the whole propeller thing. And I thought that was really cool when that did come out. And I think that's what fascinates me about the water as far as Mario Kart. And I think I just seem to like water a lot in general. Like, even swimming and stuff, it's interesting. Water is just a weird, I don't want to say element because it's not an element, it's a compound. I'm sorry. I'm going into chemistry and I'm trying to get used to that, and because of that, that kind of bothers me. It doesn't like I guess, bother me. Just that I'm trying to get used to calling things what they are. I am such a nerd. Science video game nerd. I don't know. But that's the end. I guess I actually... I think this is the first episode where I could actually talk about the checks because there was no problems going on with any of my video recording. So, hopefully this video ended up being cool for you guys. I will see you all later.